Hey guys, this is TheEnder, and we are back for game number 4. Once again, this is going to be the round of 8, Killer versus Snow, and the map is going to be Neo, Electric Circuit. Once again, you can tell this is Neo Electric Circuit and not Circuit Breaker, because this is the one that has the destructible side disruptor that guards the second entrance to your base. Yeah, it's backwards like that. But hey, if it helps you remember it, that's all you need. Just remember it helps you. You know, it's because it's backwards. But so yeah, another 4-player map. They're in cross positions, which should in general favor the killer. But on the other hand, you could say this is actually a really good map for going for Corsair Reaver, just because of the way it's structured with all the walls. So maybe it's better for Snow. So overall, Snow's been playing pretty well. It is 1-2 in favor of Killer. But we'll see what's going to happen. So of course, if Killer wins this game, he moves on to the round of 4. And is that much closer to the millions of won that the tournament winner will get. Yes, you heard it right. Millions of won. Which, you know, if it's, I think it's, I heard something like 1,000,000 won is $1,000, which is still not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, if people paid me, you know, 1,000,000 won to play StarCraft, I'd be like, hell yeah. But, oh well. Maybe I gotta find some better friends. But alright, looks like we have a 12 hatch from Killer. And on the other side, we have a Forge Fast Expand for Snow. And of course, he went for, even though it's a 12 hatch, he could have gone Nexus first, but he hadn't scouted Killer, and so the standard build that you're supposed to go for is to go Forge first when you haven't scouted your opponent, just in case. So alright, we will see if Nexus in short order here. And so there it is. Nexus, come on, build. Alright, it's built. Now, there, alright. Alright, and we have the spawning pool. So, Killer has the option to take the mineral only behind his main, which is protected. Or he may choose to take a natural at some other point in the base. Sorry, a natural at another spawning point for this map, which would be pretty good long-term for him, because if he can secure that, then he'll have 3 bases that he can take with relatively low amounts of defense, because he can take, after he takes a natural, he can take the main, the mineral only, and then his mineral only. So it's an idea, but no, he's gone for the safer, just 3 base, near base, and so let's see. First 2 lings are out to deny the scouting worker. And yeah, we're just going to wait until something more interesting happens. So how was your day? Feel free to post in the comments below. Probably layer went down just now, because Killer had about 100 gas and now it's gone, even though we can't see it. Single cannon guarding his front. Yep, layer is building. And we have a core. Very boring. Come on, go for like... Yeah, cancel the core and go for like 3 gateways and then just like mass zealot off of... Do like a 4-gate. No, I'm totally giving him bad advice. He shouldn't do that. I'm just bitter at Protoss who 4-gate. So the Korean observer is like really going crazy here. I'm not sure why. I haven't seen anything interesting yet this game. Perhaps he likes the part where the probe has like still taken 0 hull damage. Very few people can accomplish that for this long. Of course, Bisu is one that most famously did it. Not like in any one game in particular, but literally like in every one of his games. He literally would keep the scouting worker alive until the Corsair was out. And it's like, okay, I can just let this worker die now that I've got a Corsair to scout the Zerg space. Oh, he gets trapped. Trapped. Alright, so, 4th hatchery is down for Killer. Looks like it's a pretty tightly hugged position, so nothing can run by on the left side. It'll be a nice little pseudo wall, or Sim City as they like to call it, to protect his sunken colonies. And Snow is going to take his own 3rd base at the mineral only. So, alright. Oh, I do not like that hatchery positioning. The 5th hatchery. I hate that hatchery positioning. That's just terrible. I mean, so that hatchery positioning is where you'd want to put your sunken colonies. So, stop. There. Alright, better. But yeah. What is this? Why are we why are we looking at this Korean guy combing his hair with his hands? I don't know. I think that's Mr. Cabbage himself. And I say that because this is the Cabbage TV Star League. And so I think that's Mr. Cabbage. I don't know. Maybe he's like the guy in. So all right. Here's a little bit of trivia. I hope you guys watch Avatar: The Last Airbender and Avatar: Legend of Korra. But in both of those series, in like random episodes, there's the same guy, even though they're like 70 years apart. Maybe more than 70. Maybe they're like 80 years apart. And there's the same old cabbage guy who's all like, "Oh, my cabbages!" But yeah. So maybe that's what the Cabbage TV guy is like. Maybe that's where he styled his haircut after. But yeah, so alright, so look at it. He can only fit one sunken there. And in addition to that, he's already going to be blocking units that try to run from his base outside of his base. That's just such terrible positioning for that hatchery. I hate it. I mean, this is going to be a nice pick-off for Killer. It looks like Snow got a little bit frisky with his men and set him a bit too far out. And now with all those speedlings, he's just going to be able to catch him. What? Yeah, that's better. Like, Zerglings have to be able to fit back there. I mean, he's going to get some nice trades, since not too many Zerglings can attack at once, but he's got so many Speedlings. I mean, for a Zealot to be cost-effective versus Speedlings, he has to kill 4 Speedlings. I mean, that's just not going to happen. I mean, since he doesn't have +1 yet, 4 Speedlings means he has to get off, like, 12 hits. 12 hits, that's not going to happen. Alright, so we have, once again, Burrow for our Zerg player, and we saw Overlord Speed, which is going to be rather helpful. This time, since we haven't seen too many Corsairs, it's probably not intended to be for anti-Corsair play. It may be eventually, but I assume... Well, maybe it is. So there are a lot of Corsairs. So maybe it is so they can run from Corsairs. I was going to suggest that this is actually a good map for dropping, since you can drop at the 3rd base, or go straight past and drop into the main. There's just a whole lot of wide open space. So it's not a bad idea. But alright, so we have Burrow. We saw a lot of wings. I don't think we've seen much Hydras. Where are the Hydras? Alright, there's the Hydras. There's really not that many. So he's going to have to be really careful. Run the drones, run the drones. Alright, good. Drones ran. Whoop. Oh. Good Scarab, got off. Oh, another one. So Shuttle did take a lot of damage, but the Hydras also took a lot of damage. And I would say the damage that the Hydras took was worse than the Shuttle damage. Mainly because there's almost like no Hydras out for Killer. I don't know where his troops are. I mean, yeah, he's got a fast 4th base. What? Oh! Oh, this is going to be a good game. I can tell this is going to be a good game. We had a 2nd Stargate and a Fleet Beacon, which eventually means if this game goes on for like 30 minutes, we may see carriers. But for right now, it's probably just for the D-Web. Oh, that's a good sunken position. Very good sunken positioning. Good Scarab shot, though. It got 3 drones. But yeah, so with Mass Corsair, you can get D-Web. You throw down the D-Webs, and the Hydras can't... It's so great just throwing D-webs down when you've got the Reavers, because in addition to the Reavers already outranging the Hydralisks, oh, that's a lot of Reavers too. But in addition to outranging the Hydras, you throw down the D-webs, so that Hydras really have to like run like next to the Reavers just to get out of the D-webs. And so then all of a sudden, in addition to automatically the Reavers being firing on them the entire time, the Hydralisk gets super, super clumped up, and it's just, it's nasty. It is so nasty. Yep, there's our Disruptor Web. It's researching. Double Robo producing Reavers. Alright, and there we have it, the first Hydra trap. Oh, and there's someone going towards it. Is that, what is it? Oh, and we got drop on the Overlords. Oh, it's just Corsairs. But yeah, so now he's got the drop. He's getting drop. He's got burrow. This is really great for setting traps. So you burrow your Hydralisk in a line like that. You wait until something, juicy flies over them. You jump them out of the ground, and then boom, instant snipe. I say instant, I mean it'll still take 2 or 3 volleys, but Hydralisks fire pretty darn fast if they don't have to close the distance. Alright, so double speed shuttle are coming in here. Looks like Killer's actually trying to take a 5th base at the natural from the bottom right main base. Oh, but here you go. He's setting up traps at all his bases. I really like this. That being said, double shuttle, and he's gonna have D-web. Even though it is a trap, those actually could all die with 2 shots. Oh, see, 1 shot. Oh man, that's such a good shot. And the D-web. Oh, it's so dirty. Oh no. Oh no. So I just really have to run past the Reavers so that they can fire on them, and they get so clumped up. Oh, so much damage. Oh, that's sick. Oh. Alright, so the D-webs did wear off. Looks like he casted another one. 2 more. But okay, there's 3 Reavers still alive. Only 1 Reaver has gone down this entire time. Alright, 2 Reavers went down. Last Reaver is about to go down. Oh, but so many Hydras. I mean, that fight right there, that was like maybe 16 Hydralisks or more went down. And they only took out 4 Reavers. That was it. So a Reaver is worth roughly 3 Hydras, roughly. And he's just so much death. So Snow is on 4 bases, still producing a whole lot of Reavers. He's got the Fleet Beacon, so he can get +2 air weapons if he wants. I mean, I know I would. What? Oh, alright, so now we're going for the carriers. Yeah. I mean, 4 Stargates. You don't make Corsairs off of 4 Stargates. That's crazy talk. He is going for carriers at some point in the future. I would say pretty soon. But, yeah. Alright, so how does one counter this? So, of course, setting up Hydra traps is good. But also, drops are also pretty good. You gotta wait till the Corsairs are no longer at the main. Because if the Corsairs catch your drop, like, in midair, you just lose everything. Oh, and there's, like, a ton of Corsairs. But yeah, I mean, so the whole point is you have to get your army on top of the enemy army. So that means either a big engagement in the middle of the map where there's a whole lot of wide open space, or it means you have to drop. Oh, this could be this. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. Oh, I don't know if Killer didn't see it, or if they were too close to the edge. Oh man, could have been so much better. I wonder if he got the energy upgrade on the Corsairs. So Corsairs, like all other energy units, have a standard max energy of 200, but D-Web costs 125 energy. So if you get the +50 energy upgrade, you can actually fire double the D-Web without having to recharge. So it's a very important upgrade. I wonder if he got it. Hey, dude, come on! There's a game going on. Sorry. And I know he can't hear me, but it doesn't feel right if you can't, like, yell at someone who's causing you mischief, pain, panic. But man, this... Wow! The hatchery got sniped from so many scarabs. I probably got the scarab damage upgrade. But yeah, so that was a pretty bad fight. I don't know how that single Hydralisk got there. But yeah, as you can see, there's just so many of these walls that the Hydras can't go past. The Reavers are super cost-effective. Alright, so there we see some carriers are being built. And, of course, carriers don't necessarily trade all that cost-effectively with Hydras. But you don't really have to. You pick off a Hydra here and there. If it gets to be mass Hydra, you use the Reavers. Corsairs will be casting your D-webs. The Hydras won't even be firing a lot of the time. And, it's just... This is the part where it sucks to be a Zerg. Wow, so Killer is still only on layer tech. And he doesn't have the armor. And there's just so many Corsairs. Alright, so maybe 2 Corsairs, maybe 3 Corsairs went down there. But we saw before, he's still got like half a dozen in his main. But yeah, this is just going to be so painful for Killer. Because, what? I think there's 2 more Stargates going down. Oh, I've not seen a game like this in a while. Alright, there was one game in the group stage, or maybe it was round of 16, but there was one game like this on this actually same map. But in that game, the Protoss lost, whereas in this game, I think Snow is actually doing pretty darn good. Now, admittedly, he only has a 10 supply lead on Killer, and usually at this stage in the game, Protoss would want to have a more supply lead with a standard composition. But I'm not really sure if that applies with this type of army composition, since Reavers are just so cost-effective. But yeah, so if we do see carriers eventually joining the army, and they can start picking off small groups of Hydralisks, I mean the Scourge just can't do anything versus this many Corsairs. The Scourge do have +2 armor though, which is nice. But it's like 10 Corsairs at a time. Alright, so that drop positioning was not optimal. And there might have been some burrowed Hydras, but there's just so many D-webs. I mean, the Hydras literally cannot fire on the Reavers in that position. So one of the things that I would have liked to see in this game that we haven't seen, we saw it in prior games. I mean, all Killer really needs to do is burrow his drones. There's no observers going around with this army. So yes, he would still lose the hatchery, but he could save all those drones. Oh, there's just cannon Reaver defense. This base could go down, but just at what cost? I mean, this is going to be just so... so many Hydras are expected to go down here. I mean, you can just see there's like massive blood spots. I mean, a single Reaver Scarab is killing like 3 Hydras at a time. And is he even going to get the base? You better get the base. If you don't get the base, there's too many interceptors. He's going to sacrifice all the Hydras and just go for the Nexus. Oh, it's just so painful to watch. Killer's getting picked apart here. So he lost at 12 o'clock. He's going to lose the 1 o'clock. He's burrowed his Hydralisk, which is kind of silly. Oh, but the Scourge might catch one of the carriers. And... he did pretty good damage to the carriers with the Scourge, since the Corsairs were out of position. But I mean, he's just... kind of want to say he's still dead. I mean, he lost 2 bases in the same time it took him to kill 1, and when he killed that 1, he lost a ton of army. A ton of army. Oh, oh, the D-webs, they're just so good. Such good D-webs. Such good D-webs. Oh man. Is he going to target the hive? He could totally target the hive. Is that 8 carriers? Holy crap. I have not seen that many carriers in a professional Brood War game in forever. I mean, usually even when you see carriers versus Terran, it's not that many. Oh, so Killer's just losing so much. He's still sort of on 4 bases, but he's just getting picked apart. So he's at 120 supply, and Snow is at 180. Oh yeah, so That's rough. I mean, he's down 60 supply. And his hive is about 4 shots from going down, which would be a huge loss. But yeah, this was just, in general, a really good game played by Snow. I'd really like to see more games played in this style. Of not just like Corsair Reaver harass, but Corsair Reaver into late game carrier. I mean, it's a great build order. I mean, it's sort of a classic build order going for carriers. That's the big expensive unit that everyone always wants to get, but it's just not feasible in the majority of games. But this build order is, it's a great one to make carriers actually work. I mean, you can see the spores doing almost nothing. If a ground army comes in, they get all de-webbed. If an air army comes in, the Corsairs are just so darn strong. And that hatchery just got sniped super quickly. And there's Hydros firing, and the carriers aren't even getting microed. I mean, it's just a move Protoss. So the 9 o'clock base was reestablished. So Snow is still on 4 bases, even if only 2 of them are mining. But Killer is he's got almost nothing. I mean, he is behind 125 supply to probably still about 180. He's got Reavers, carriers overhead, and Corsairs laying down D-webs. This is just sick. Oh, yeah. That was 5 kills on 1 Scarab. That's I mean, it's fun to do to other players, but to have it done to you, it hurts so much. And I mean, Killer, he's actually got a decent amount of money. He's still taking expansions everywhere, rebuilding every base that gets blown up. But it's just the ratios are not working out for him. Snow is losing almost nothing with each one of these attacks. I'm almost surprised he hasn't figured out that corner is where Snow likes to drop, and that he should leave Hydros in that corner burrowed. But oh man, it's so sickening. I mean, it's a bit too late for it, but versus carriers, you really want to have Defilers out, so that you can cast the Dark Swarm and the Plague. Because a single Plague then can do 300 damage per carrier. That's just a crap ton of damage. Looks like a little overkill on the D-webs there, but it really doesn't matter. It looks like it's game. Killer is at 72 supply versus 160, so he's double the supply of his opponent, and his opponent has maxed out on carriers practically. Alright, so there's the GG from Killer. So that evens up the score 2-2, and we are moving into the Game 5 deciding match on match point, and I will see you there. This is TheEnder.